Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any video lesson from Rao's IAS.
Hello and welcome to another session of Daily Prelims Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important news and articles that have featured in the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. Topics for today's discussion are displayed on your screen. So let's begin the discussion. First question of today is based on this news, which is based upon Karnataka government's decision to promulgate an ordinance for increasing reservation for scheduled castes from 15 to 17% and for scheduled tribes from 3 to 7%. As we know, governor of a state derives his power of promulgating the ordinance from Article 213 of the Indian Constitution. So let's take up today's practice MCQ. We can see here how constitutional provisions related to Office of Governor has been a recurring theme in UPSC examination. As in 2018, UPSC has asked questions based on the constitutional provisions related to the Office of Governor. So let's take up today's practice MCQ based on the ordinance making power of the governor. Question is, with reference to ordinance making power of the governor, consider the following statements. You have to identify the correct statements. Statement 1 says, ordinance making power is a discretionary power of the governor. Now this statement is incorrect. The ordinance making power is not a discretionary power. Having said that, governor can promulgate or withdraw an ordinance only on the advice of the council headed by the chief minister. Now the second statement says the ordinances must be approved by the state legislature within 4 weeks from its reassembly. Now this statement is again incorrect, as the ordinances promulgated by the governor must be approved by the state legislature within 6 weeks from its reassembly. So as we had to find the correct statements and both the given statements are incorrect, our answer would be D, that is neither one nor two. That brings us to the second question of the day, which is based on a photograph that featured on page 11 of the Hindu newspaper. This picture was related to Pokkali Paddy. The unique features of Pokkali Paddy has brought it the geographical indication in 2008. The news highlights concern over dwindling area under the cultivation of Pokkali Paddy, which is mainly attributed to the disturbance in paddy cultivation cycle by the shrimp farming in Kerala. UPSC has been asking questions based on important news and developments related to agriculture and allied sectors. As in 2016, UPSC has asked questions related to globally important agricultural heritage system, that is GIAHS. So let's take up today's practice MCQ. Question is, with reference to Pokkali Paddy, consider the following statements. Statement 1 says, this variety of rice is known for its salt water resistance. This statement is correct, as the Pokkali variety of rice is known for its salt water resistance and flourishes in the rice paddies of coastal Alappuzha, Ernakulam and Thrissur district. Now second statement says, it is an ancient farming practice where one season of rice farming is alternated with another season of fish culture. Now this statement is correct, as in this practice rice farming is alternated with another season of fish culture, and rice farming and fish farming are mutually complementary. So we have to find the correct statement. So our answer would be C, both 1 and 2. Inspiration for our third question comes from this news, which talks about Rogan art form, which is a kind of ancient Persian art form used for cloth printing. As part of the syllabus of art and culture, UPSC has been asking questions related to folk and traditional art forms. As in 2015, it has asked a question based on kalamkari paintings. Now let's take up today's practice MCQ. You have to find the correct pairs. Here you are provided with some regional paintings and regions are mentioned in this table. Now the first painting mentioned here is Fard painting. Fard painting is an Indian folk painting and is practiced in the state of Rajasthan, not Gujarat. It is a religious scroll painting style and traditionally done on a long piece of cloth or canvas which is known as Fard. Fard depicts the folk deities of Rajasthan, mainly Pabuji and Dev Narayan. Now the second option is Rogan. Now Rogan is an art of cloth printing practiced in Kutch district of Gujarat. In this craft, paint made from boiled oil and vegetable dyes is laid down on fabric using either a metal block or a stylus. So this pair is also not correctly matched. The third option is Pattachitra. Pattachitra is a traditional cloth scroll painting art form from the state of Odisha and West Bengal. The art form mainly depicts mythological and religious themes, epic Hindu deities, etc. So the third pair is correctly matched. And as you had to find the correctly matched pairs, our answer would be A, that is 3 only. Now the next question is based on this news which talks about a program which is to be held as a part of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat initiative and which aims to strengthen the cultural and civilizational bond between the city of Varanasi and state of Tamil Nadu. Now, as the government is focusing more and more on development of cultural and heritage sites through the development of various circuits and various schemes, this could be a tentative future field from which UPSC can ask a question. So let's take a practice MCQ based on Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat initiative. You have to identify the correct statements about this initiative. First statement says its primary objective is to strengthen cultural relations of various regions in the country. Now this statement is correct. Second statement says all states and UTs will be covered under the program. Now this statement is also correct, as the program aims to actively enhance interaction between people of diverse cultures living in different states and UTs in India with the objective of promoting greater mutual understanding amongst them. And as per the program, each year every state and UT would be paired with another state and UT in India for reciprocal interaction between the people. It is envisaged through this exchange that the knowledge of the language, culture, traditions, and practices of different states will lead to an enhanced understanding and bonding between one another, thereby strengthening the unity and integrity of India. Third statement says the Ministry of Home Affairs has been designated as the nodal ministry for coordination of the program. Now this statement is incorrect, as the Ministry of Education has been designated as the nodal ministry for coordination of the program. So we had to find the correct statement. Our answer would be B, that is 1 and 2 only. The next question is based on this news which talks about launch of a new global law enforcement initiative by the Interpol at its ongoing 90th General Assembly in New Delhi. As we have seen in previous year papers that UPSC has been asking questions based on important initiatives that have been started at the important conferences that are held in India. As in 2017, UPSC has asked question based on Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, that is IONS. So let's take up today's practice MCQ. Now you can answer this question easily here, but We have taken up this question so that it can make up your compilation, as in examination you will not have the headlines to refer to. So the question is, Metaverse Initiative for Law Enforcement was recently launched by which international organization? The answer would be Interpol. The last question for today is inspired from this news which featured in the Indian Express newspaper, which talks about ISRO's plans to launch Chandrayan 3, that is its third mission to moon, in June next year. As we know that important initiative and new initiatives by ISRO have been a recurring theme in UPSC preliminary examination. As you can see here, in 2016, it has asked a question based on the Mangalyaan. So let's take up today's practice MCQ based on Chandrayan 3. Question is, consider the following statements regarding Chandrayan 3. Statement 1 says, Chandrayan 3 will attempt landing at lunar south pole like Chandrayan 2. Now this statement is correct, as Chandrayan 3 will attempt landing at lunar south pole like Chandrayan 2. The lunar south pole is especially interesting because the lunar surface area that remains in shadow is much larger than that at the north pole. There could be a possibility of presence of water in permanently shadowed areas around it. In addition to that, the South Pole region has craters that are coal traps and contain a fossil record of the early solar system. Now, second statement says Chandrayan 3 will be launched through PSLV XL. Now, this statement is incorrect, as Chandrayan 3 will be launched on board the launch vehicle Mark 3. Now, statement 3 says, like Chandrayan 2, it will include lander, rover and orbiter. Now, this statement is incorrect. It is indeed a mission that will be a repeat of Chandrayan 2, but will only include a lander and rover similar to that of Chandrayan 2. It will not have an orbiter. As we had to find the correct statements, our answer would be B, that is 1 only. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for more such updates.